And good day, everybody. I think we'd take a quick walk around, have a look at everything that's going on before it starts to rain some more. Probably should have done this on the weekend. But here's my little beetroots that I planted recently. They've all been getting eaten by something up here. And there's a lot of weeds coming up. I think this is wild amaranth, and there might be some self-seeded green amaranth in there as well. So I'll have to replant the beetroots somewhere else, but might leave a few of these and see how they go. I've got some little green onions, which is one of the first things that I planted here last year. They're starting to go to seed. So I'm just going to let them go to seed because there's a few there. Sorry, the bin truck, I think. So yeah, we might get some seeds out of there. I've got carrots in here that are starting to develop, a couple of them. So they're doing all right. Oats are still growing. They've still got a way to go. I put some more potatoes in here the other day, so they've started to come up. What do we got here? We've got a few pumpkins. I think these are Tromboncino Zucchini Pumpkins. And again here, I think this is some more green amaranth that's self-seeded. So yeah, I might just let those grow and see how they go. This is my blue corn. It's all started coming up, as you can see. So it's doing really well, actually. And I've taken the rest of this bok choy seed here, most of it anyway. But I've got a couple more pumpkins coming up here. There's ones that I planted out here the other day. I'm probably going to have to get rid of all this borage just because it takes up way too much space. My banana shallots, these ones are doing really well. I've got a few potatoes in here. This one will have to come out. It was a bit of a failure. And I've got a few more that didn't quite last as long as I wanted. We got garlic here. It's doing all right still. We got a few little watermelons in. They're doing okay. We're probably going to take that red mustard out. I think it's starting to go to seed. So, yeah, that's finished. The yacon, it's doing really well. And there's another one in a pot that it's doing pretty good too. Here are my butter beans, and there's some green bush beans up there. And here's a couple of little yellow Marconi capsicums. This one's doing really well. And this one's grown a little, but not as much as that. And so these carrot flowers have started to develop. And you can see them in a few different stages there. So they start out like that, and they eventually open up, and then they turn into one of these things, and then I assume this is where the seeds are going to be, so keep an eye on that. But there's a few of them in there. And I've been picking a few broad beans, but still haven't really tried them. We've got a lot of damage from caterpillars on them here, so when I break that open, there might be 4 or 5 beans in there, but I might only get 2 or 3, depending on what the caterpillars have eaten. So just a couple of butternut pumpkins here that are doing all right. I'll probably pull this one out. A few weeds. I've got a little yellow fig or yellow pear tomato there. So these are my sweet potatoes that had grown but were killed off by the frost a couple of months ago. So these are the only 2 that came back, and they are the orange ones. So I probably won't have any purple white flesh sweet potatoes this year, but I'll look into getting a few different varieties probably next year. And here's my clumps of blue corn. So I probably should have spread the seeds out a bit further. But yeah, they're doing really well, and we'll just sort of see how they go. There's another one over here. It almost looks like this one has grown, but it's white. So yeah, never seen that before. But yeah, they're all doing well. I'll probably put down some chicken manure and some mulch at some point. And I got some shallot and potato onions here, and a lot of them have been developing these little seed heads. So I've just been pulling those off. Now I think it was just because they weren't getting enough water. Obviously, you know, we got an inch of rain last night, so they should be right for a while now. So I'm starting to get the first few zucchini flowers starting to develop. These are just the male flowers at the moment, but yeah. Well, there's a little fruit starting to form just there. So yeah, hopefully in another few weeks we'll be harvesting a few zucchinis. And I've got a few little Roma tomatoes that are starting to form on this plant that actually survived over winter here. That was just self-seeded up the back, and I just transplanted it to a sunnier spot. We've got a few more zucchinis and a few more tomatoes. This is a Roma that I just planted, and it's actually got flower buds starting to form now too. And just leeks and shallots and a bit of sage there, and more zucchinis. I planted some cucumbers up here, but it might have been a bit early. They haven't really done very much, but hopefully they'll take off soon. Also planted some pickling onions, but it might be the wrong time of year for those, so we'll see how they go. And I am going to come through and just pull up the rest of these dead purple potatoes, and there's a couple of Kennebecs there because I just don't know about this patch. Nothing really seems to like to grow there. I mean, the peas are doing all right. Yeah, it's a bit cursed. And these peas, snap peas, I'm just gonna wait for them to get a bit bigger and shell them and freeze them. And I've also got this russet potato which needs to be dug up. I'll probably just wait a few days. It's supposed to be raining for the next few days, but we'll see if we get a bit of a sunny patch. I'll come out and I'll dig that up along with the others. This green sorrel looks pretty good. It's taken off. It's getting a bit eaten, but there's plenty of good leaves still. And this red vein sorrel never really took off. It was planted at the same time and it's still tiny. Hey, Mercy. And a few of these onions are starting to bulb up actually, so that's pretty good. These are the Glad Ellen White. These ones, which were planted a bit later, they're not doing quite as well. So I've still not had very much luck with onions. I've had a few good red tropias, but that's about it. But yeah, we might get a couple of decent ones this year, and then I'll have to put some effort into it next year, I think. And I've still got plenty of seedlings to go out. These are my orange tomatoes, and I've got another yellow pear tomato, jalapenos, and a couple of little capsicums. They're not great, but I do have some more yellow marconis started along this row here. Some more spring onions, another zucchini, and cucumber, and a couple of watermelons as well, just to maybe replace those ones that I planted out a bit early. So yeah, these are my red tropia onions. They're doing all right, not terrible. These are some Hunter River Browns, I think, or these might be Californian Reds, but yeah, they're not doing great. Banana Shallots, and you can see there's a seed head starting to form on that, so I'm just going to pull it off. And I have no idea if that's the right thing to do, but I have done it with the green onions up the back before, and they just kept growing like normal, so I'll hope for the best. Here's a few of these pickling onions, and yeah, I haven't really had much luck with them. I actually planted this lot in April, and they did absolutely nothing. And then I planted this, and there's maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 good ones, and the rest are pretty crap. So hopefully they'll do a bit better in the ground. So yeah, these are Californian Reds that were planted at the same time as the Tromboncino Reds, and they're doing a lot better. Yeah, again, here's some more that just never worked out. And these aren't terrible, actually. There might be a few little onions in there at the end of the year, and some baby carrots, but yeah, they haven't really worked out either. I just don't think they're getting enough water, so I might just scrap those and I'll replant some more in the ground. Alright, and up here I've just got the rest of those potatoes, and I've got a few more onions in here, and yeah, I'm going to take this borage out because it's just taking up too much space, and then I'll get rid of the rest of these bok choy seeds. I've still got a few beetroots I've been harvesting from over there, some green onions, a giant plant of dill that's about 5 feet tall, and over there I just have more potatoes and some little leek seedlings. I can actually walk over there since I've taken the broccoli out. So yeah, there's probably not enough light to grow leeks in this spot, but I figured I'd start some here since I had the free space, and then I'll move them out to where the garlic is or somewhere else. And I planted another Tromboncino zucchini or whatever just up here by the avocado tree, and just see how that goes. I might try and train it up the side of the tree on a rope or something. And to try and keep them out of my way, I've planted a few of these Kent pumpkins just along the fence line. I've also got another zucchini, which is actually doing really well. I wasn't expecting to do this good in this spot, so hopefully they'll do alright. My West Indian arrowroot's doing really good, actually. All the dead leaves have fallen, and it's just all new growth now. And yeah, a few random onions in there, one decent one and a few little ones, so can't complain. And lastly, I just put in a few black-eyed peas here. Not all of them came up. These were just from save seed from last year, so they did grow alongside other beans. Hopefully they'll grow true. And I have some black turtle bean seeds that I'm going to plant in here as well at some point, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. But that's pretty much everything from me, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I think it's trying to get the orange thing.